Hi, I'm Starlinx. Today I'm just going to talk about aiming with a bow. What I mean by aiming is not like your typical FPS aim where you see the crosshair. That's not what I mean. What I mean is speaking the auto aim to actually aim. So what I mean by this is that look at your crosshair. Your crosshair will follow the closest area of the target. As you can see, the target at the top, middle, and bottom. So that's what you want to take note of because you want to compensate for the projectile speed of certain attacks. So following my crosshair, as you can see, aiming at the center will aim at the center. Aiming near the bottom will very likely aim the bottom, but of course it depends on where you stand. If you get closer, as you can see, my auto aim will start to go to the bottom side of the character. If you go further, you'll start to aim ahead. Same thing if you go close and then you aim outwards, you can see it's aiming the head. Once you move your crosshair down, you'll start aiming the center and bottom. This is important, especially in the combo, especially when you need skills like siege mode and storming arrow. 1, 2, 3. You aim for the bottom. I still missed. Alright, let's say in the case where you aim for the bottom. 2, 3. Aim for the bottom. As you can see, they almost touch the ground. Actually, they did touch the ground, but it was just for a short while. 1, 2, 3. If you aim the top, you miss. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Aim the bottom. You can see you managed to continue up your combo because you aim their feet. Next thing is storming arrow. As you can see, storming arrow usually if you're far, you just aim straight. But at the times where you move your camera so much and you start aiming below, as you can see, some of the arrows actually do hit the ground, especially when you get further. If you look here, there's a few projectiles, 1 or 2 hitting the ground. And that's important because especially in rough terrain where, like, let's say in the case where the enemy is hiding behind a rock, you will actually want to try to hit them. Let's say right over here. Okay, so I'll show it here. Let's say if you aim their feet here, you can see some of my arrows. As you can see, I only got 2 hits because I'm aiming the ground. 3 hits and just a few hits only. But if you aim at the top, see the hit, you can more easily get more hits. Because that's simply because you're moving your camera higher. So your storming arrow just detects that it's aiming for the head. If you aim below, as you can see, you start to get lesser hits, and that's one of the main points I'm trying to show here. Aim below and you may get lesser hits, while if you aim top, you're more likely to hit more of your shots. So for skills like Spirit Arrow, they don't really matter where you aim. I mean, it does matter, but because you see, the aiming circle is so small that it really doesn't matter that much. It's basically just manual aim at this point. Aside from the fact that it's homing. Spinning arrow and bending also doesn't really matter because it's just a vertical. It's hitting vertically, right? Salvo arrow doesn't really matter because it's also mostly manually aiming. And yeah. So that's like one of the main points. Sometimes aiming for the feet is good if you're in a combo, and sometimes aiming for the head is good if you are trying to hit someone too. In this case, of course, I'm always aiming the bottom because my character is facing the bottom. Let's say if you aim the head here, you can see the combo becomes less consistent, right? It becomes harder. It looks like they're trying to fall. Aim for the leg. You can see this is how it goes. They're slowly falling, but every single one of your shots you're gonna hit, even though you're quite getting further and further and further away. In the case where if you aim for the head, as you can see, you may start to drop because you are not compensating for the projectile speed. So this weapon, if you aim for the head, as you can see, it starts to look like they're going to drop. They're about to drop. It's really scary. I'll show hitting the leg one more time. As you can see, my arrow is going from like their feet all the way to the top of their body. As you can see, I almost dropped one of that there. So yeah, that's why I feel it's important to actually aim for the feet when you're far away. Aim for the head when you're close, if you can. I mean, no, not aim for the aim when you're close because that doesn't really matter. Basically, as long as you can hit them, that's what it matters. When you're aiming, you may want to aim for the head if the enemy keep jumping. If you aim for the feet, you might actually start hitting the ground and nothing happens because you just hit the ground instead of hitting a head. So yeah, that's all I want to say. Thank you, have a great day.
くほど苦いフレーバーヒートアップするのない確かめるみたいにじんわり染み溶けた白黒つけないなんてできそうもないけど